All right. Thanks so much for joining us today. We've got Preston here, which I think I introduced him earlier. He's going to go over the QBO connector here in a minute. I think the Intuit guys have already told you about that. We're going to launch a quick video from Choice regarding the 11th edition initiative that they have going on. And this video is from Choice, but when you hear the person talking, that is Jim DiMartino. He's our Executive Vice President. So.
Okay.
Hello.
So the 11th edition is a standard chart of accounts and accounting reporting structure for the hotel industry. The goals of this session, we want to give you a better understanding of what the 11th edition is. What do we mean when we say the 11th edition? We want to help you to see why changing to this method of accounting helps you to be more profitable. We want to show you how you can get into the standard format, what you have to do. And we want to hopefully get you to embrace this as something that you want to do because you do see it as something that's going to benefit your business. Every major hotel company that does business follows this chart of accounts. So why do all these companies use the 11th edition? Or why does almost everyone use the 11th edition? Well, one, it's awareness. The format that I'm going to show you is designed to help managers be better aware of where they're spending and what they're spending and where they're starting to have issues that they may need to address. Secondly, it's measurability. It's going to help you to measure more things and to measure them in a way that is accurate and reliable. Thirdly is comparability. Again, it's very important to be able to compare yourself to industry averages and to see how your spending compares. It's not that you're always going to be spending the best or the worst. It's understanding where your differences are and figuring out why you have differences. Conformity. When you go to borrow money, when you go to sell your hotel, when you go to show your financial information to any institution for any reason, this is the format that they're going to expect it to be in. Finally, you want to be able to make informed decisions. Ultimately, what this is about is improving your profits. It's about learning from others. If you were going to climb Mount Everest and you called and one company said, oh, just show up, buy a plane ticket and show up when you get here, we'll deal with it. And the other company directed you to some place where you read the history of routes people took up and you studied what time of year to go, and they told you how to train at altitude. Which of those two companies do you think is going to do a better job of getting to the top of that mountain? Why would you want to do this? Here's the most compelling reason I can give you. This is actual data that I pulled out of Grow. There's two hotels, each of which has the same number of rooms. They both are interior corridor. Neither one has a restaurant. They both have around 120 TripAdvisor reviews. They both are 4.5s on TripAdvisor. One ranks in the top 30, one ranks in the top 25. On Choice Verified, one's a 4.7, one's a 4.8. One's 95% recommended, one's 98% recommended. In terms of employees, one has 11 full-time employees, one has 12. One's running 67% occupancy, the other one's running basically 66. One's got an $88 ADR, the other's got an $84 ADR. There's their RevPAR. They're about $3,000, $4,000 apart in revenue. So these two hotels, for all intents and purposes, are pretty much identical. One's running a 24% labor cost, one's running a 22.3. One's running a 32% GOP, one's running a 54. One owner is making $401,000 in profit, the other one's making $678,000. So if you're an owner, ask yourself, if there's another hotel out there that compares to me that closely in revenue, size, operation, but they're making $200,000 more than I am in profit, do you want to know what you're doing different?
The choice is very excited to be able to help the owners with the ways they can improve their profitability. CIA has been partnering with them probably for the last 2 years. And the video talked about the 11th edition and how becoming compliant would increase your bottom line. It also talked about how you can use the GROW comparison to help you figure out how to make more money. However, when CIA started to use the GROW comparisons, we discovered that most hotels weren't using an accounting format that provided enough detail to even do a comparison. So that's how the partnership with Choice, Intuit, and us, CIA, started. So on the screen here, you can see the launchpad for GROW and for the virtual operating analyst, but we'll talk about the VOA in a minute. In GROW, the hotels enter their 11th edition P&Ls, and by doing that, they receive the scorecard. The scorecards allowed a number of hotels to recognize a substantial increase in their bottom lines. Here's some of our favorites from last year. I think it's always great when you can take a 30-minute exercise of putting your information in and come back with savings like that. So, but let's look at a couple of specific examples. So part of the scorecard shown here, that part in the white, that is a scorecard that comes off once you enter your information into the GROW website. So specifically, this hotel discovered that their payroll and tax benefits line was double that of their competitive set. So their owner worked with their CPA and their insurance agent, and they uncovered that some employees weren't classified correctly. So they updated that, and they basically saved themselves about $70,000 from the year before. So it's pretty impressive, right?
Yep. Yep.
Let's look at this next one. All right, on this example, the hotel discovered that they were the worst performer in both per available room and a percent of revenue in the room salary comparison. The owner basically reconsidered their staffing levels. They weighed the pros and cons of maintaining a van driver at their hotel, and ultimately they realized that that benefit to guests wasn't providing either a bump in ADR or an occupancy. They chose to eliminate the driver and effectively increase their bottom line, here by about $75,000. So this is the point in the presentation, if you're like me, you're sitting going, well, all of that sounds great, but what's the price? So the monthly QBO connector subscription does include a number of different things. It is $100 a month per hotel, and there is a 10% discount for anybody who wants to pay upfront for the entire year. But the scorecard comparison that we just went over isn't the only thing that's included. You'll also get the VOA that we saw earlier, and this is where you really get into the nuts and bolts and being able to figure out how you can make more money. After your data is loaded in the GROW platform, we'll have another call where we can talk about the power of the VOA. This tool essentially helps you to drill further into your profit opportunities lurking in your business model. All of these are interactive, so basically all these places you see, you click and they take you to other places. But what VOA does is it piggybacks on the GROW data, and it begins with an indicator of how much money you'd be making if you were as efficient as the best operator in your comp set. So in this example, you see that this specific hotel is making $788,000, and the best one in their comp set's over $1 million. So really shows you how you stack up to the comparison. The VOA allows you to drill into the comparative data for all the different departments, similar to our earlier GROW examples with the workers' comp and the driver position. I'll send you a link after we get off this call, and you can sort of poke around in some of our test sites that we've got loaded so you can see all the data that's included in here. You'll find some things like on this screen that are free to the QBO subscribers. So when we talk about that $100 per month, this particular item that is $100 per year to non-QBO subscribers, it is free for you. So what this section is here, we call it the money bags. So on this screen, depending on what information you've fed into the system, your screen is going to look different and provide you with different things you can look at. Each is weighted by money bags, and the more money bags that are shown, the more money you can send to the bottom line by addressing the items that are listed here. So,
okay.
All right, now let's switch gears a little bit and we're going to talk about reporting. You're already a QBO user, so you'll be probably familiar with this. It's on here. This is just kind of a sample made up profit and loss statement. It's very simple. It offers everything that an accountant might need. It shows the money coming in, the money going out, but it doesn't really offer the kind of data you need to make operational decisions. So it also isn't 11th edition compliant. Mm-hmm. With our monthly subscription service, this is the financial statement that we would be producing for you. So it offers two enhancements to the one we looked at earlier. The first, this is a hotel industry standard financial statement. So that 11th edition that you saw in the very first tab when we started our call, this is that standard. So we'll generate this report and it offers metrics against budgets and last year. Plus it shows you everything line by line on a per occupied room and a percent of revenue. So you can kind of get a difference. I know it's kind of hard to see, the numbers are small, but you can get a difference of what QBO offers versus what an 11th edition compliant financial statement looks like. So now I'm going to turn it over to Preston, and he's going to go over the QBO connector from Choice Advantage to QuickBooks.
Okay. Thank you. Preston here. So basically our QBO connector is what we use to take the data out of your Choice Advantage on a daily basis, and we move it in directly into QBO in the 11th edition format. So all it requires is what literally takes about 30 seconds for a night auditor to do at night. Just move a file over, and the next day you'll have your journal entry ready to go. This is just a quick short video that I did on how that process works.
Hello, this is Preston Rowe from Computer Ingenuity Associates. Today I want to show you the process for moving your daily accounting information out of Choice Advantage into QuickBooks Online using the CIA QBO connector. Basically what's going to happen is your night auditor is going to go in at night and it's going to run the back office report. They're simply going to submit the report using the proper date. Once they've submitted it, they're going to go to the website that we have called CI Soft Brick FTP, which is our FTP site, at which point all they need to do is take that file and drag it over to here and drop it into our SVTP server. That's all the night auditor needs to do. What's going to happen in the morning, you're going to get an email that says DSTAT Daily Report Journal for the 11th. It's going to say the income audit was processed with the following result. You got a journal entry. As well, it's also going to attach a report for you, which is going to be your daily report. That daily report will have dashboards about year-over-year information, rooms sold, rooms occupied, daily revenue information, room revenue information, as well as market segment analysis. Okay. When you get this report and everything is all set, you then can go over to our connector. In our connector, you're going to notice now it says that there's a journal entry there for you to post. When you click post, it's going to take that journal and it's going to post it into your QuickBooks. Now it's gone. You're going to go into your QuickBooks, and if you look over here, you're going to see now there's my posting that I just did for 2/11. At which point you can click in here if you'd like and take a look at the individual details of the journal entry if you'd like. I have all the information about what you're posting, both revenue and payments, as well as ledger changes. I hope that helps. Thank you and have a nice day.
So as you see, I mean, it basically is your night auditor drags a file over there, you'll get an email, you click on post, and your journal entry is in QuickBooks. So the whole process should take less than a minute to go from Choice Advantage into your QuickBooks Online.
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot, Preston. Basically, to get started, I'm going to email you some registration information after we get offline. In that, I will also get you a link to an online tool that allows you to look up items and search for the proper place to code them in the 11th edition QBO. And then there will be a few other things in that email that will explain the next steps and provide you some more detailed instructions.
Okay.
Intuit and Choice Advantage have also asked us to let users know that we are available on an hourly consulting basis to convert your QuickBooks desktop chart into the new 11th edition chart If we do that, your history will port over from the new platform, and more importantly, this lays the groundwork for the financial statements we looked at earlier. So if you're interested in this, you can just email me and we'll connect about that offline.
Okay.
That's basically the end of the presentation. Do you have any questions that we could answer for you today?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously,